Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday Stories of Love. What do you got there, Lucy?
A mochi.
You got a What exactly is a mochi? This guy looks like a pink hedgehog.
Hi.
He's very cute. What is a mochi, Sophia?
It's squishy.
Squishy.
Do you want me to show you some of mine?
No, that's okay. I'm just looking at these, but this guy looks like a little hedgehog. He's really cute. Okay, Lucy.
I have like a million.
All right, so, Lucy, today's story is about helpfulness. So what do you think it means to be helpful?
I don't know.
What do you think it means to be helpful? Really?
To
help somebody?
do chores.
Do chores. There you go. Hold doors for people. That's being helpful. So we'll read our story and then we'll talk a little bit more about it when we're done. Not long ago, it rained for 10 days in a row. The first few days had been fun for Titus. He and his friends had played in the giant puddles, had paperboat races down the street, and watched in awe as the lakes grew larger and closer to the town. But the last few days, it seemed the adults were getting scared. The water was getting closer to the library, and the rain wasn't stopping. "We're going to the library," his dad said, grabbing his raincoat. "But my books aren't due yet," Titus complained. "We're not going to the library for books. We're going to get sandbags and help sandbag the library to stop the flooding from damaging it." Then he threw Titus's raincoat. Soon enough, they were joining many other townsfolk in the library's parking lot. They were already turning into a swamp. There were several front loaders moving piles of sand, a few pickup trucks full of bags, and a whole line of people shoveling the sand into the bags. Another line of people were handling the bags and building a wall several feet from the water. It was already 3 feet tall by the time they arrived. "Look for a way to help, Titus," his dad said. His dad began hauling bags to the wall, hefting them to the top higher and higher, but Titus knew he wasn't strong enough to do that. He could barely even lift a bag off the ground, so he looked elsewhere. He thought, eyeing a shovel leaning against a truck. Someone should use that shovel. But no one used it. Instead, the truck moved and the shovel dropped to the ground next to the sand pile. Someone should move that shovel, he thought. But no one moved it. Instead, a woman tripped over it, falling and flinging down her own shovel over the sand barrier bag, which had splashed in deepening water. The woman lay grimacing and holding her knee. Someone should help her, he thought. Titus looked around for someone, but they were all busy. Finally, though, someone saw her and helped her get a first aid kit. Titus looked around for other ways to help and found many more. If he were the boss of this project, he would have told people to do it very differently. And the wall would have been 5 feet tall. Instead, it was only 4 feet tall. When the workers began extending the barrier further to the west, moving away from Titus, he began inspecting the sand barrier. As the water rose against it, it was odd to see the lake on the other side just a few feet away. The only thing that kept it from pouring onto him like a massive waterfall were the sandbags. So when he suddenly noticed the leak, he was frightened. It started out as a trickle, dribbling down the front from the smallest gap between the bags. But as he watched it, the trickle became a stream and then a small spigot. He thought, somebody help plug that hole. He looked around, but the workers were all too far away. "Hey, help," he cried, but it was too late. The spigot became a fountain. He took off running just before the water crashed through the barrier, gushing towards the library. Workers went down the line, and a front loader came lowering its bucket full of sandbags onto the gap. It could slow the rushing water, but not for long. "Evacuate the library," came the order, and the workers rushed to clear out everything of importance. Titus was already in the library, panting, watching the flooded parking lot in awe. All their work had failed. The library would be lost. "Titus, are you okay?" asked his dad, running up to him. "It was my fault. I saw the leak, but no one was around. I guess I should have." His dad patted him on the back. "We all make mistakes, me included. What matters is that you're okay. And it looks like you're still able to help." "I am." "Good. Now, looking for some things that should be done is great. But if you see something that someone should do, be that someone." His dad gave him another pat on the back before running to help a woman pushing a cart full of books out the door. Titus thought for a moment. As people rushed about, splashing through the water that was seeping into the library's entrance, his dad was right. He had been noticing many needs, but he hadn't helped. Now he had a chance. His eyes darted around, searching for a need. He was eyeing the equipment outside when he saw it. There was a long cord in the parking lot, weaving like a snake from a big loud machine to a giant spotlight. Titus knew the machine was a generator. It made electricity. He also knew that electricity was dangerous near water. His mother had gotten scared one day when he tried to charge his Kindle in the bathtub, and he could have been zapped in with electricity because electricity loves zapping water. So what would happen if electricity zapped the flooded water that was now splashing against the worker's feet? Someone should do something. His eyes lit up as he remembered his dad's words. Please be that someone. He ran toward the generator as the dark water that poured over the remaining sandbag barrier began to lap dangerously close to the spotlight. He had to be fast. Like lightning fast. He sprinted to the cord and yanked it free. Everyone was suddenly in the dark, but they were all okay. The generator, the spotlight, we forgot to move them. 2 men came running and splashing from the library. When they got to Titus, one of them eyed the cord in his hand. You unplugged it? You're the man. Titus nodded proudly and rushed to help them wheel the generator and spotlight to a safe distance. The story sprang among the volunteers. Soon he was known as the boy who saw that the help needed to be done and did it. And though the library had lost to the water that day, no people had been lost, thanks to his quick, helpful action. So what do we think? So if you see somebody who needs help, are you going to stand there? Or are you going to do what?
Help them.
You're going to be that someone, right? How about you, Lucy?
I do the same.
You do the same? Well, then I think that we picked a good story today. We do have to show everybody our plants. So now, just so you folks remember, we are 4 weeks out now? Mm-hmm. We are 4 weeks out of our plants. And just so everybody can see how awesome they're growing, that they're starting to grow out of their little potted plants. So hopefully, next time we come back in a couple weeks, we may have some flowers. What do you think? You guys have a great Saturday, and we hope to see everybody at our spaghetti dinner tonight. And have an awesome weekend. Thank you.